Hey, I'm JD Frost, and this is the Daily Ledger Podcast. I've got a special guest today with me, a gentleman named Troy Rogers. He is the Public Safety Coordinator for the city of Chattanooga. Is that right?
That's right, my brother. That's right.
All right. Man, so much has happened over the last few years since we first met, and I want to tell a little bit of a backstory here. So the very first time I met Troy Rogers, it was JD Frost and Company, and we were having a United Way campaign, and Troy was coming to talk to our company, everybody in there, about Chattanooga. And he was just talking about what he's experienced in the city and everything. He talked about these two Chattanoogas, and he really piqued my interest in how I individually, as well as our corporation and our company and anybody that I knew, could come together and help bring and unite these two Chattanoogas, is the way that he described it. And so ever since then, Troy and I have been working together, building relationships, connecting people that are not normally connected. And anyways, I'm really glad to have you on the podcast, Troy, and honored for you to be here, man.
My brother, I love you, man. I appreciate you. You know, I always tell you that you said yes. The power of yes. I've talked to several people. Me sharing that story, I did it for United Way for 3 years. So I went to several businesses and shared that story. But you said yes to, I want to get to know more about that. And that you saying yes, look at where we are 4 years down the road. Many jobs, many businesses, families reunited. We're going to do something for the family who house got burned up. When I leave you today, through relationships, guys that you know, that have been a blessing. And if you wouldn't have said yes to that, JD Frost, I don't think we'll be talking and sitting here right now.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that, brother.
I am too. And I want to kind of go back a little bit, because I think one thing that you've really helped me with is, and I mean, this might be, who knows, when somebody starts listening to this, they might be like, holy cow, look, buckle up. But I'm going to be real. I know it's hard. At least it is for me. It's hard to be real on podcasts and be real and transparent. But I mean, what you were talking about with those two Chattanoogas was really coming down to racism. It was coming down to systemic racism. And tell me a little bit about that in your experience and what you deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been doing this work for over 30 years. And I realized that there's nobody that is born bad. There's nobody that wants to go to prison. There's nobody that wants to commit a crime, JD. But a lot of times in your life, if you don't have the things that you need to be able to do that, you can go off on a bad way. And that's what I found out. I used to think that the criminal justice system was broken. I did. But working in it, man, I see that it's working exactly the way it was supposed to. And it hurts people that don't have resources, who don't have opportunity, and who don't have exposure. And that's what I found out. So you're right. It comes down to the word racism. And sometimes, bro, I'm going to say ignorant racism, because sometimes people just don't know, like yourself. You didn't know, but you said, hey, I'm finna find out. And one thing that you did that I like is that you listened. You didn't come say, hey, man, I know this, that, and the third. You said, hey, I'm coming to your program. I'm going to be there. And when you came, you said, hey, man, let's do something. A lot of times people, JD, the power of yes, people just come and they stuck and they don't say nothing. You say, hey, man, let's take another step. And we just been taking steps. We've been taking steps. We ran a marathon together. We've been taking a lot of steps.
Yeah, we have.
We've been taking a lot of steps. So we have bridged the gap. We talked about something that we wanted to do a long time ago called crash. I wanted to crash your community, and I wanted to crash mine. And we've done it on a small level. Last time we went to lunch, we talked about doing it on a bigger level, But just getting people relationships. You say your network is your net worth. I say relationships are the new form of currency.
Yeah.
And I really, 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 really believe that.
Yeah. And I mean, I think what you said there is the big difference. I think in order for our country and our nation to continue to heal in racism and heal in ignorance and heal in even in our current criminal justice system, is taking those steps and not stopping taking steps. Like typically I would have gone to that, and I don't know how you even describe like what it is. I mean, it's just God, I guess, just working through me, because I really am interested in what the real word is on all of that. And the only way that I've been able to do that is, number one, to have somebody like yourself and Tony and Joe who can hear me sound like an ignorant white person and receive it that way and be like, you know what? Like, I understand why you think that. And you're, and I think this is what we're missing a lot in our communities and everything is I acknowledge that that's what you think. And you are right in even thinking that, but here's the thing that you're not seeing. Here's the thing that you don't know. Here's the experience you don't have, because this is a real experience for me. And I think I guess I can pinpoint it. It's even more than God. It's my alcoholism that gives me the ability to actually listen to somebody else and have empathy for their point of view that I never had before. I would have never accepted that before.
Hey, man, I think that's a great thing. What we had back in the day, we had a call-in where we brought a lot of young men who were on probation and parole. And that's what we had. That's what you got excited about. And then our brother Tony had a business idea. You was like, hey, man, give me one dude. Troy, give me one guy. I'll never forget it. You're like, Troy, give me one dude. I want to help. We came over to your office, man. Y'all talked for about 2 hours, man. We were jumping and shouting, and T.O. was preaching, and you and CT was clapping, and man, I was running around the room. I was like, man, I ain't never been a part of nothing like this in my life.
Right.
But you guys left there and had a relationship, man, and TNT Cleaning was born, and man, wow, this thing done took off, man. 20 buildings, 20 employees. I mean, just crazy, man. And like I said again, bro, you use your privilege. You could have kept those contacts to yourself. You could have been, we talked about racism. You should have said, no, I ain't giving you nothing. I'm gonna hold my contacts close to me because this is who I am. But you freely gave. And by doing that, man, look how this thing has multiplied. So, bro, we are excited. And you used your privilege. I talk about that all the time. A lot of times when you talk to white people, bro, just being transparent right now with you, they get upset about the privilege. But JD, it's only a problem if you don't use it.
Right.
It's only a problem if you don't use it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use mine, the job that I am, the platform that I have, bro. I'm going to use it to leverage relationships for the people that I care about the most.
Well, but isn't that what everybody does though? Whether you're white, black, brown, indifferent, whatever it is, like if you're not using your network to leverage that in order to get you to a better place anyways, why wouldn't you? Like, why, like that? I feel like that's what God's called me to be is this irrationally generous person, not only with finances, but also with networks, relationships, just being a kind person. Like, but look, the time is the resource that nobody wants to give. Like to show up and go to that call in, or to show up and like, we've continued to meet, right? We haven't been as regular as we like to, but we continue to meet. We continue to talk. We're on a text message stream together. Like I ask anybody listening to this, how many black people or white people do you have in your phone that you're texting on a regular basis, or you're talking to each other on a weekly basis? Like that's really all it is. Because it's exposing to one another. Like when all that stuff was happening during COVID and everything, like y'all would show me articles that I normally wouldn't have even paid attention to.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
And that's bringing awareness, which is going to help us make better choices and get better results. but we ain't going to have awareness unless we're talking to each other.
That's right. That's right, man. And you know, you got in your truck. You came out. You fed the homeless with us. You know, you came out, man. You got out of your comfort zone. And JD, the enemy to success, and I know you tell your people in business, the enemy to success is being comfortable. Mm-hmm. The more comfortable we are, the less likely we'll do something great. And that's one thing, like I said, I respect you about you, man, because you said, man, let's go. I'm getting in the boat with you, and we're gonna roll together. We might not see eye to eye, but that's okay. Our bottom line is to help people. I may have to ask questions, Troy, if I don't know, and that's okay. That's why we spend time together building relationships. I think that color can go away. Not totally, because I know the way, but the more time you spend, the more you understand, man, this is a good guy right here. And I think that is the thing with Joe, Tony, Theo, Ellis, all these guys that we deal with. Man, we have been very intentional about spending time together. Well, and that's really good.
Yeah, and I think one thing that was different is
yeah. Hey,
how would somebody listening to this put their sword away? You know, what would you tell somebody? Like, I mean, how do you even get started if you don't even have a relationship with somebody of the opposite race or opposite economic level or whatever? Where do you start?
I think you reach out. You know, you always say it. Your network is your net worth. You know, I may have some white friends. You know, I know CT because of you. I met Paul and them because of you. So I would try to reach out to somebody that I knew who may know some people that I need to talk to. I think that's how you start. You get with somebody that you know that knows people, and then you work it from there. And like you said, put your swirls down, man. Let's just have a conversation. Now, you know, George Floyd happened at that time, bro. COVID. It was a lot of things going on in our world at the time that sent a lot of white people overboard, and it sent a lot of black people overboard. So we were in a time in our country, bro, where this thing could have really, really came unhinged. And I think what we said is we're going to come together. You know what I'm saying? When everybody's fighting and tearing up stuff, we're going to come together and see how we can help our community. And that's one thing that I love. Me and you, we go to lunch. You know, our special thing is on our birthday, we're going to make sure, and, you know, and we ain't talking about nothing but relationships. You know what I'm saying? I got grandkids. You got daughters that got to grow up in this world. So we have a vested interest. And who knows how it's going to be when your girls get up and their kids. So what you're doing, JD, is you're paving the way for your grandkids right now, bro. Right. You're leaving a legacy. I hear you talk about your granddad. They left a legacy. And what are they going to say about us when we're no longer here? Right. And I think that is why we have to continue our relationship, because we want people to remember that on Tuesday at 2:00 in 2018, a big old fat dude sat up in front of dude. Remember, I couldn't roll my shirt.
I remember that.
Hey, and talked about two Chattanoogas. This little guy with a smile on his face, red face, came with a red beard. Said, "Hey man, I want to know more about you." And you did what you said you was gonna do. And look at us now.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just getting started.
Yeah, we're just getting started, and it's been about 4 or 5 years at least, I think, since then. And I mean, it truly is amazing when you kind of give yourself the grace to like realize it's not going to change overnight. Mm-hmm. It's not going to change in one conversation. It's going to change in a bunch of conversations, in a bunch of nights, in a bunch of those steps, like you're talking about. It's a marathon, not a sprint, right? I mean, that's what we were even talking about. So, I mean, I think a really practical way for anybody, if you're trying to start a relationship with somebody that you might not normally hang out with, that you might not necessarily agree with, that you didn't grow up from the same place. What we're doing, me and Troy, taking each other to lunch on our birthdays, that's 2 times a year. That is no time at all. But that actually got us connected through text messaging and things like that. And now Troy's sending me his goals. I mean, golly, you're writing up a storm, man. It's awesome. But he's sending me his goals every single day. And like, just that interaction is so powerful. So if I just want to challenge you, especially if you're in the Chattanooga area and you have not reached out to Troy or myself, and you want to get involved and you want to make a difference and you want to take a little bit of a leap of faith in this, and maybe the programs that are out there haven't really helped, like, reach out to one of us. We would love to hear from you and love for you to be a part of what we're doing in these conversations, because this is real stuff. I think the one thing that attracted me to what Troy was doing was he was able to provide a real life example immediately of a life that I could affect. I think for me, I wanted to see the decisions, the drive, the not that I have all the answers. Tony's taught me way more than I think I've ever even taught him.
Right.
And Troy was able to bring me that opportunity.
Yeah. I think let me say a couple of things about yes, man. I think you block the miracle if you don't say yes. Like I said, you block the miracle if you don't say yes. Something stirs up in you, JD, when you say yes. When you say yes, your body gets in forward motion, moving forward. Right. You know, we don't go backwards. It leads to more things happening for you when you say yes.
Yeah.
You seize the opportunity when you say yes. Life is much richer and scarier when you say yes.
Yeah, it is.
Now, this is what I like, bro. It attracts a certain positivity and it attracts a certain energy. And I want to be around people, bro, with great energy. I've never seen a negative person, JD, with a good attitude. I've just never seen it. So I think these are things that are free that you can work on, bro, is just being a happy, positive person, man, and loving people, like you said, right where they are.
Right. And I mean, most of the time when you're not saying it, yes, is you're not surrounded by other people that are doing it too. I mean, right. It's infectious. And I think, you know, what reminds me of you just saying that was that time where I met with you and Theo out at that Waffle House, right? Like we had gotten our times mixed up and I had gotten back home and it was kind of like, well, maybe I won't meet, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to come out there and meet y'all anyway. Like I said, yes. And look, we got to bless all those people. You were blessing them inside that Waffle House. I mean, that everybody that walked in that day, you bought them dinner for like that hour and a half while we were in there. And just how much of an impact you can have on somebody. I did that same thing for a guy that works with us at Tough Go. I saw him out to dinner with his wife and I took care of his dinner that night. And, you know, it's nothing big, but he wasn't expecting that. And I think people showing up when we're not expecting them to is a very, very powerful thing. That's better than money. Right.
That's better than money. I'm about to jump outside. I'm about to jump out this chair and run through my kitchen and come back because, bro, you never know what somebody's going through.
Right.
When we tipped that waitress, man, she was crying and talking about she needed this and that. You never know, bro, what we could do when we get out there and do something for somebody else.
Right.
You know, I live by this saying, man, that you either inspire or you expire. And bro, you hear me say this all the time. And I want you to start saying it with your people, man. I want to die empty, bro. When I go home to be with God, bro, I want everything. I want my wife and my children, bro, my grandchildren, bro. I want to have poured everything that I have, JD, out on them. I cry a lot, man, because a lot of the kids that I deal with in my job, JD, they die so full. And that is a problem. Me and my wife were talking. We were talking today about a guy that I had, and he died and stuff like that, bro. But he never had a chance. If he was in JD Frost's household, he'd probably be running your business right now. If he was in Troy Rogers' household, he'd probably be serving and doing something great in the community. But the hand he was dealt, bro, he could not get up from it, and it ultimately cost him his life at a very, very early age.
Man. And when somebody's not dealt that hand the right way, how do they get out of that?
Man, you gotta have some relationships, man. And I'm telling you, man, you just gotta come across the right people. That's why we have, as you say, we gotta just meet as many people as we can, because we just never know who's connected to who. We could have met his uncle or cousin or somebody. We just gotta continue to build relationships and show them. Walk them. One thing that I try to do with the guys I work with, JD, I try to walk with them. A leader, we out there with you. Like we're not on a go. No, we're out there in front. And that's one thing that I've always tried to do, bro, in my job and everything like that. And that's probably why I ain't never promoted up, man, because I'm still in the field and I'm always out there in the grass weeds with my guys.
Right.
So I just want to be an inspiration, bro. When I die, they can't take. I wish they could take my money with me, but they can't. It won't be an armored car behind my hearse. Yeah, it don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? So and they're gonna stop talking about us after they put us to the ground. We'll laugh and cry, and then we got to go back to work. JD got to run a business. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to leave it out here, man. We got to leave it out here. And another thing that I say, and you've heard me say it, that you and I are the aspirin to someone's headache. The question is, JD, how long will we let them hurt? There are people there's people in business, and I don't know if you saw it, but I wrote that on my thing that the Daily Ledger is going to be a New York Times bestseller.
Yeah.
I wrote that on my paper because I want, as you told me about the thing, I want you to believe that as well. Because that book is a really, really good book, and it's a spiritual book. It's a book about business, bro, and it's a real book about your life, man. And God wouldn't have took you through what he took you through with alcoholism and things like that, bro, if he didn't want to use it, bro, to change the lives of people.
Love it. Holy cow.
Hey, let's go, baby. Hey, woo. Okay, let me chill out. My wife's about to run in here. I'm sorry, brother. Hey,
I love that.
Hey, listeners, I'm sorry. If you listen to this, let's go. Okay, I'm so.
I love it.
The Daily Ledger, baby. All right, I'm done, bro.
You definitely inspire me, Troy. What did you say? You either inspire or expire?
You either inspire or you expire. You know what I'm saying? We are the aspirin to someone's headache. The question is, how long will we let them hurt? There's certain people that J.D. Frost can go and talk to that Troy Rogers can't reach. There's certain people that you can go, business people that are waiting on a word from you to get them out of the way that they're going. They're waiting on this. They're waiting on this right here to get in their hands. That's why I took 48 of these Decatur's. Let's go.
Right.
Yeah, this thing gonna change. It's a life changer.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, bro. I'm excited. Okay, let me chill out. Go ahead, Daddy. Go ahead. Finish. We got excited, man.
You're good.
Okay.
I think that is an awesome place for us to end. I like the podcasts that are like somewhere about 10, 12 minutes or so. You got anything else that you want to say? You got something else that you need to throw out there?
I'll just throw out there that it's not where you start, it's where you finish.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Carrey was living in his car, bro, when he had interviews for his roles, bro. He was living in the car with his family. He had to take showers, JD, in restaurants and Hardee's and things like that. He was so poor. But JD, one thing he did is that he borrowed a check from somebody and wrote on that check, "I will make $1 million when I get my first big movie role." Mm. He did the Daily Ledger 25 years ago.
Yeah, he did.
And when he got his role for Dumb and Dumber, he had already spoken into the atmosphere, and he got paid $1 million, bro. So I want our listeners, brother, to continue to believe God, man. We might as well believe him. If we die and wait, and then it's cool. But man, we just gotta have faith, and we just gotta keep going, man. Keep building relationship, keep loving people, man, and just keep trusting the process, bro. And that's all we got. Yeah. And I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna tell you that every time I'm with you, man. I love you, man. And I'm gonna be there for you, whatever you need, bro. Because like I said, you said yes, bro. The power of yes. And don't you ever forget that. If your day going bad at Frost or your day going bad at Cutco, but don't you ever forget the hundreds of people that you help get jobs and businesses by you saying yes. Don't you forget the family that we're gonna bless when we leave right here, who lost every doggone thing that they had on Christmas, bro.
Yeah.
You helping to get that back. And I know you don't tell nobody. I know you don't put that on Facebook so everybody knows, but I know, bro. And I know the sacrifice, and I appreciate you for that. I'm gonna give you your flowers while you here, bro. We ain't gonna put none on your grave. We're gonna give them to you now. Let's go. Okay, I'm through.
Oh man, you bring a lot of joy and smiles to my face, Troy. You really do, man. I feel very inspired and supported by you, like bro, you wouldn't believe. I appreciate it.
Come on, bro. Bro, I got you, and I appreciate you, bro, because you allow me to be able to be a blessing to other people. And I appreciate you, bro.
That's awesome.
All right, bro.
So if somebody's listening to this in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and or the surrounding areas, how do they get to know Troy Rogers? Like how do they get to know who you are?
Man, hey, you know, you can hit me up on I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, I've got my Instagram. You know, I give you my email, my number. Bro, my number is 423-305-2707. Because of my job, my cell phone never cuts off, so I'm always on call. I'm always, you know, on the go. So just give me a call. Let's talk. Let's have a cup of coffee, a cup of tea. You know, JD got these conversation things coming up in January, February.
That's
so man,
right.
let's come up there. Let's come up there and hang out, man. We want to build that up to where that might be a place, man, where we can have, you know, I'm gonna bring a bunch of my guys next time. So man, have a, you know, I don't smoke, but hey, they can enjoy a cigar.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Troy, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, man. Love everything you're saying. My favorite thing you said was you either inspire or you expire. And we're gonna do some inspiring for sure. And it starts with having a relationship. Relationships are the currency. And Troy, man, he lives that out every single day. A guy of service first and a service heart. I've never seen anybody with as big of a heart as Troy Rogers does. So thank you so much.
Thank you, bro. All right, man. Love you. Have a great day. Tell Lindsay and everybody say hello.
I will.